Hi everyone. Yes, as Dot says, I'm here to introduce Life at Sea to you all, a resource that I am thoroughly enjoying working on, and I can't wait to bring it to publication later in the year. So this resource is going to explore the lives of seafarers in the Anglo-American maritime world, reflecting current trends in maritime history. It's taking a socio-cultural approach, so a really bottom-up approach, focusing on the individual experiences and personal narratives of seafarers. The resource is going to draw material from both the US and the UK. So the primary source content in this resource has been drawn from 4 partner archives, as you can see on the screen there. So 2 in the UK, the National Archives Kew and the National Maritime Museum Greenwich, and then 2 in the US, the Massachusetts Historical Society and Mystic Seaport Museum. Both the nature and the scope of this resource has been influenced by our editorial board, with members across both the UK and the US. So here I break down the key collections, and you really get a sense of the type of content we have drawn from each archive. As the core objective of the resource is to uncover the lives of the ordinary seafarer, the focus is very much on the type of documents that will facilitate that. As you can see, journals and diaries, logbooks, they all form a large bulk of the resource, 38% in fact, followed by correspondence and memoirs. These documents are often vividly descriptive as well as richly illustrated, offering wonderful insights into life at sea during the age of sail. You can see one illustration there on the left, that's from one of the journals of Edward Cree, and I have to say, throughout working on this project, I'm repeatedly blown away by the beautiful illustrations we're coming across. From the National Archives, we're also including a selection of court-martial records from 1750 to 1850 from the ADM1 series, as well as material from HCA1 and HCA13, examinations of pirates and other criminals, and prize instance books. Again, these allow a study of the life of a wide variety of sailors and seafarers through their personal defence testimonies. All of these documents will facilitate a study of a broad range of themes, including recruitment, discipline and punishment, health and welfare, leisure, maritime trade, whaling, piracy. Again, that's the 3rd time piracy has been mentioned in this webinar, I think. Shipwrecks and disasters, port life and life ashore, and women and the sea. All of this fantastic material will be made searchable by HTRT, which we hope will allow users to dig deep into these sources and pull out perhaps previously hidden aspects of the maritime experience during this period. We'll also be supplementing the primary source content with a range of commissioned contextual essays and video interviews based on the key themes that I've just mentioned. In terms of document highlights, there are so many, it's hard to choose, but we'll be including depositions in the Admiralty, that's a tongue twister, courts martial records, providing incredible insight into everyday life aboard British naval vessels, including recorded conversations between sailors and their testimonies, and these really do give a rare glimpse into daily life on the lower decks. As well as that, the complete High Court of Admiralty examinations of the pirates, as I've mentioned, are a key source for studying the golden age of piracy. And on the screen there, you can see on the left, that's a screenshot from a court-martial from ADM1, and then on the right, a front cover of one of the examinations. As I said, we also have a selection of personal journals, and these are, some real highlights. So these illustrations on the screen now are a mixture from Edward Cree, who was a ship's surgeon, and from Gabriel Bray, who was a lieutenant. And these are just a few examples of the really rich illustrations you'll find within Life at Sea. They really do give a fantastic insight into what life was like on board some of these ships. I've also included some other examples of some of the beautiful material that we've had in so far. We haven't got a lot of it yet, but what we have had is absolutely stunning. So examples here include at the bottom, a journal kept and illustrated by Elizabeth Hornby during her father's tenure as Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Station, and she drew lots of wonderful illustrations of sailors going about their everyday work. In the top right, we have an illustration from a logbook of the whaling vessel, the Clara Bell. In the center, that's an image, not a digitized image, that's a photograph taken by one of our development editors when they were on an assessment trip. But that's a photograph of a journal kept and illustrated, a journal of William Benjamin Gould, who was formerly enslaved and a veteran of the American Civil War, serving in the US Navy. His diary is one of only a few written during the Civil War by former slaves that survived, and the only one of a formerly enslaved sailor. So lots of really interesting content, and there's lots more to come this year.